Welcome back to the Daily Doji. This is a special edition called Crypto Carnage. I'm sure you've already noticed by now, I'm not the one telling you, but we're going to do a technical analysis of the carnage. We're going to look at Doge and SHIB, Bitcoin, the S&P 500. I'm going to look at everything that I have a tab open for. The S&P, gold, Hex, Ethereum, Apple, Crow, MATIC, and there are more things in those tabs. But we're going to start with Doge and SHIB because that's what I have on the screen right now. This is the daily chart. It matters what time frame you're looking at. I like to start with a longer time frame so that I can see the big picture. If you haven't seen my old videos, this is what I was counting before. And I should say I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just interested in Elliott waves. So I'm doing this for myself, for fun. That's why I'm not going crazy when the market is down, because I'm doing it for fun and for practice reading the market, which is all psychology. And I've had this drawn for the last while now, because this is kind of what I was expecting. Obviously, it took longer than what I drew. I usually don't count the time. I usually count the waves, Elliott waves. So we've got 1, 2, 3 down right there. Where is the Elliott wave tool? Right here. Okay, so there were 3 waves, 1, 2, 3 coming down right there. You see that? Then we have another one coming sideways. And this is what I was kind of expecting here, although when we went above that 200 EMA, I was watching to see if it was going to stay up there. I think in my last video that's what I was talking about. But I was still pretty much expecting this next wave down. So I'm not surprised. I would have been surprised if it would have kept going above that 200. But this confirmed my bearishness. And the reason I had that is because, let's see here, is because this wave right here, this is the current wave we're at. These are the subwaves. I'll make the middle one a different color so that it's not as confusing. Oh, I just could have double-clicked it and changed the color. Okay, so that you can see the difference. So this was wave 1, 2, 3. Inside of that wave Y. 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, you need to read the book or learn Elliott waves. There are probably a lot of books on it. Changing the color of this to stick out more. Okay, so you see the overall wave down is divided into 3 waves. And then those 3 waves are subdivided into 3 waves. That's how I'm able to have some kind of predictive power for myself. Now that doesn't mean I'm a financial advisor or a wizard. It's just Elliott wave theory. It's been around for 100 years. Most people have no idea that it's a thing. And some people kind of take a look at it and then throw their hands up and don't learn it, but it's not that hard in my opinion. I'm going to delete the subwaves to make it a little more clear. So let's back up a little bit. We've got 1, 2, 3 going sideways, and then 1, 2, 3 going down. I think it's either close to the bottom of this wave, or that was it. But it's hard to get the exact, on a 3-wave pattern, it's hard to get the exact bottom because there are the more you zoom in, let's go into the 4-hour chart. See, the more you zoom in, the more waves appear. So this is the 1-hour chart. And as you go closer and closer, you can see there are little waves inside the waves. So what I'm trying to find out now is this wave over or not? See right there you can see 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 sideways, and then 1, 2, 3 down, and then 1, 2, 3 sideways, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 sideways, 1, 2, 3 down. It was a long one down. There's a little 1, 2, 3 sideways, or I mean it looks to be up, but we'll call it sideways. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is this the 1 and the 2, and is there a third one down? Or is that little way right there it? So that's what I'm thinking right now, is that if that wasn't the wave down to around 7 cents, then this one is gonna smash down. But it should happen pretty soon, within, I would think within a day or so, or a few hours. I don't think it would take more than a few days. It looks like if it's going to bottom out now, that was either it, or it's going to want to get slam back down again after this little bounce it's taking. I remember someone predicting, I don't remember on which platform, predicting like around 5 or 4 cents or 5 cents, and I thought it's not impossible, and I mentioned that in videos. And originally I was looking at this range around 8-9 cents, and I talked about it a lot a year ago-ish, 6 months ago maybe. I made a lot of videos. I was doing them every day for a while, so I did a lot of updates. And but I can definitely see the 1, 2, 3 wave down on this wave. It's the sub waves of that. This 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, these sometimes make a 7 swing pattern, which is a 1, like a 1, 2, 3, 4. If that was either 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's this last wave I'm looking for the 7 swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's either going to be a 6, 7. It just looks like a 6, 7. Really, it's a 3-wave pattern, but that's how they appear. And if this one right up there, okay, if I don't want to look at that first wave, I'm just looking at this final wave down. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see the 6, 7 in it yet. So I wouldn't be shocked if this tries to make one final dip. I'm bearish as can be at this point. I mean, I was bearish for the whole year. People are finally bearish now, which is interesting, very interesting. I wasn't on Twitter a year ago, but I am now. I'm not really posting analysis on there. I'm posting my art. So, SHIB. Looking at just this final wave down right there. It might not be the final wave in the entire correction, and the reason why is because I keep repeating this over and over again in my videos, is that there can be a double correction or a triple correction where it'll make one corrective pattern and then try to come up and fail. It'll 3 waves up and fail and make another corrective pattern. That's the danger, and that's why it can take so long. Although it's crypto, it's pretty quick. Even a 2-year correction seems like forever, but it was only, a couple years, which, yes, it seems like forever in Twitter world. Was that the last wave down? So it's starting to make what I would start to look for myself. This is not financial advice, reminder. I'm not a financial advisor, and even if I was, I'm not your advisor, but I'm definitely not advising. But what I'm looking for myself, just YouTubing, is when this starts happening, although since we're in this wave still, this is not over, but it's starting to make the type of pattern I'm looking for. In Doge, it looks a little better. Like, we're seeing a lower low in price right here, but we're seeing a higher low in RSI, relative strength indicator up here. That is looking, starting to look like a buy, but it might not be done playing out yet. Sometimes this can go boom, 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 and make a few higher lows on RSI, and it will trend, it will trend up over there and then trend down over here. That's what I'm looking for. Something like that. And then this might try to do that again a couple more times, and it might keep coming down. But seems I was waiting for what seemed like a year for this to happen. It wasn't quite a year. SHIB peaked later in like the end of October, so it has not even been a year yet. And this might make a final slice down. If it does, I will probably buy more for myself, and Doge, if Doge comes back below 7 cents, I will probably definitely buy it, but that's just me. And I'm recording this video, it's like 12:50 right now, it's not even 1. So by the time it gets uploaded, this next little wave might have happened. Sometimes YouTube takes a while to process the video. Alright, let's change the chart. Gold is down a little, but still above the 200 on the weekly. And, it's below it on the daily. It's at kind of an all-time high. The gold and silver ratio is very high, historically speaking. It was crazy last couple years ago, but that was insane. And actually, these prices are definitely manipulated. They've been caught manipulating it, and they've been fined for manipulating it. Only one company that I know of has been fined, but I'm sure it's being more manipulated than that even. But the silvers, let's see, that's the monthly chart. The weekly just dipped below the 200 EMA. Keeping an eye on it. The S&P 500, if I turn this back, if I turn my drawings back on and zoom in, I was counting this. I know this is clustered. Let me make this whole full screen. I was counting this, and I was teaching about, well, I was talking about this wave right here. This ABC is what I've been thinking Bitcoin is doing right now. So pay attention to this pattern right here. This is an Elliott Wave ABC pattern. It's called an expanded flat. This is what I've been talking about. A couple people laughed at me, and we were like, it's correcting and making a higher high. And they thought they were making fun of me, and they thought I was an idiot. But look at the S&P right here. Here's an example of an example of what I was talking about. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was counting the subwaves. And as I count them, then I'll delete them so that they're out of the way. But let me take one final screenshot of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s in that. Those were subwaves. Oops, don't want to move that. No, I don't. I messed that up. Okay, this right here. These were subwaves of wave 1 right here. Does that make sense? And I'm going to delete it so it's not clustering. And then we had a wave 2, which was a 1, 2, 3 going sideways. And then here are the subwaves of the next wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is done. Delete. And that last wave. Okay, here's what I had drawn. It looks like it looks like this was either an extended wave 3 I forgot what that's called. I'm drawing a blank on what that's called. This looks like it might be wave 4. So I think I'm shorting this. Maybe I should wait for this last wave to short. I mean, that could have been a truncated 5th wave right here. And that could have been the top. Who knows where this 5th wave will go. I was thinking around 500 just because it was a nice number, but something like this might happen. Or the wave 5 might rocket and make a really tall peak, go parabolic, and then come crashing back down. So that's kind of my adjustment on this, and I'll move this then. That could have been the top. It could have been a truncated 5th wave right there. It sure feels like the top as far as the feeling of the world was at the time, but there could be one last little wave, which, you know, and that's the subwave of, if we zoom back out here, That's the subwave of this. So this is the last wave up. So trying to get the very last wave of the last wave, I would not be going long on that. Personally, no way. And like I mentioned that I'm shorting it, but not like a ton. But I've had my eye on it for a while, so yeah, I mean, when we'll know, here's how we'll know for sure. This wave 1, if this is a wave 4, there's a rule in Elliott waves where wave 4 and wave 1 in an impulsive wave that's in a bull market, an impulsive wave can't cross the wave 1 and 4. They can't intersect. They can touch, and then the 4 would have to rocket right back up. So 4 could come back down and wick, but then it would have to get right. If it comes and stays in wave 1 territory right here, which is like below 355, and this is like the S&P, this is the SPY. So the S&P 500 would be like 3,500 or something like that. If it goes below that, then I would probably say that wave is done. And I would adjust this a little bit to make that the top. But we could have one last little hurrah right up there. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at Hex is something my friend was investing in. He was not giving me financial advice because he was thinking it could be risky, but he was doing it for himself. He wasn't like going and recommending it to other people. But since I'm into this kind of thing, he did tell me about it, and I've been checking it out and keeping account. So here's the WXY coming down, 3 waves. Now, is it going to double correct? It looks like it's double correcting because that looks like it failed. I was talking about this in my last video. It got above the 200 EMA, and I was like, it's not clear yet if it stays above or if it goes back below. And it looks like it rejected back below. And now this price action here is overlapping with this, which is not impulsive, which is not the sign of a bull market. So this might come down and do another corrective pattern of some kind. Interesting. Apple is having a hard time for once. PayPal is biting the bucket. Ooh, it's starting to trend up on the RSI. Remember that buy signal I look for myself? Not for you. Definitely not. But that's starting to be a good sign. I don't know if PayPal will survive as a company, but I've been using it. I don't like it all the time, actually, and neither do the investors right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that a 7 swing down? Was that a 1, 2, 3? A tiny little sideways wave and then another 1, 2, 3. Doesn't look like it. It could go down more. I might get some if it keeps going down. It's going to want to bounce back up at some point. At least try to get back up to the 200, I would think. Now, whether the company, this is not fundamental analysis about the company's management and stuff like that. That is called Fundamentals, and this is not that. So if you are interested in fundamentals, though, there's a book that Warren Buffett recommends called, oh, it's on my bookshelf over there. I can't remember what it's called, but if you want to know, I'll comment. You can search it on Google. It's by Graham something. I have 2 books by him. They're giant books, but it's not helping us at the moment. All right, my eyes are starting to, from staring at this chart, my eyes are starting to get strained. That's how you know you need to take a break. All right, this wave down looks like it is not a wave 4. Oh, well, yes, it crossed over this territory right here, which is not impulsive. But, I mean, we were pretty sure that that bull run was over anyway. So we've got an XYZ pattern going down. See here? Just going to move this a little bit farther. Now, where will this bottom out? That's the question everyone wants to know. Let's see. We've got some... That could have been a 7 swing down already. That these wicks are making it difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like it just started a new wave down, though. Right? Yes. This is, oh, well. Looks like we made a new low right there, so trying to catch the exact bottom on these. It's fun. I'm not taking it too seriously, so that, I mean, whenever I make a good trade, I have to remember not to get cocky. And I used to say in my videos to fear and respect the waves. Just like surfers respect the ocean waves, so I hear, or they get wiped out. I've lived near the ocean, but I haven't surfed. The ocean can get really scary and can gobble you up. So can the Elliott waves. They can gobble up all your resources if you're not careful and don't know how to read them. Even if you do know how to read them, and even if you are careful, it's still risky. And I've been saying that the whole time. And it's been a bear market for way longer than everyone on Twitter and YouTube have been saying. People were still saying it. People were saying it's a bull market every time it goes up any. And it's frustrating, but I just try to remain calm and not get influenced by the hype. Don't be influenced by the hype. Acknowledge it and just look at it and keep a steady head. All right, MATIC is looking quite juicy. It came back and almost to the exact spot. Ooh, and that's and it's starting to do the RSI thing that I'm kind of looking for. So it's evening out at the very least. It's flattening out when the price is going down. That could be it or close to it. Does it want to make one last dip to 50 cents? It's getting far from the 200 EMA. The farther it gets away from it, the more of a potential, the more volatile. See right here, well, it got really far from this white line, then it came back, crashing back down and touched the white line, came back under, and then see how it wants to stay kind of near this white line. So if it drops more, the more it drops, the better opportunity, potentially. If you're using that to trade. If you're using another technique that works, stick to what works. This is what I look for myself, and I'm not telling you what to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I kind of see the 7 swing down on that. That's looking pretty good to me, coming back, making this shape. Now this was an expanded flat, so it could come back, it could come below this first wave. Remember the expanded flat? I talked about it a couple minutes ago. Oh, it's an ABC. A, B, C. Is the C wave done? It looks close. If it's not done now, it's going to be done soon, in my perspective. This B wave made a new high above that, but it wasn't a bull market because there was no impulse wave. Remember impulse waves? I talked about it a minute ago. There's 5 waves going up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but no, this is not what they look like, because wave 4 and wave 1 cannot overlap. See, they're overlapping, so this is not a 5 wave. This is some kind of 3 wave, probably 1, 2, 3. Like that. Because I've been staring at so many of these. In every crypto chart, there are 3 wave patterns all over the place during the correction. And then we've got our 3 waves down. 1. That was either 2 or this went sideways. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Like this, which is kind of what people say a head and shoulder. There's a head and shoulder, and there's a big head and shoulder right there, which is just a 3 wave up and then a 3 wave down in this case. So how close to the bottom are we? Is this it right now as we speak? I mean, it's close. It already dipped. It's coming, it's making a move down right now, so I think I'm hoping for a little bit more of a wave down, just because I'm extra bearish. I think this could be a good opportunity, but that's just me, and I don't know that much about the fundamentals. But judging from this chart, I like it. All right, one more and then we're done. There's some Cardanos down to 55 cents. Woo! Facebook came down to almost to the 0.618 Fibonacci line. And it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it could be in the middle of this wave right now. After this cluster right here plays out, I'll be able to get a better read of what type of correction this might be. Because some corrections are 1, 2, 3 waves, some are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could be a bounce, 1, 2, 3 coming. This might want to come up at some point before the next huge wave down. Or if it ends up like Bitcoin, it could do the huge sideways ABC, some kind of A, B, C. Potentially, we'll have to see more data, but this is the kind of thing I would look for, or even an ABC like this. Wait, give me that. Down here. Something like that, maybe? There's only a few different corrective patterns, so there's not an infinite number of them. Alright, that's it for this video. Wow, covered a lot. It's really exciting. Some people are experiencing that excitement in different ways. I read a book that said there was only one emotion, and it's excitement. But it just depends on how you think to interpret that excitement as fear, anxiety, happiness, joy. And right now, I can feel the excitement in the air. I'm kind of excited for the opportunity. However, that doesn't mean that it's not extremely risky. I'm just excited, and a lot of people are scared because they were all in. I'm not happy for the people that are losing money. I'm sorry for you, but you know, I'm down too, so I get it. And I've been in the 2017 crash, and that was insane. This time it's more exciting than that, because I didn't know, I knew just a little about Elliott waves. Thankfully, I think I knew about it before the crash, so I was able to, I didn't ride it all the way down. I got out at a good time. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching to the end. Have an amazing day. I have other videos coming out too. I also make health videos, and I just finished that painting I've been working on, which is going to be a 1/1 NFT, and there's a collaboration I'm going to announce that it's pretty much, the cat's pretty much already out of the bag. Somebody already guessed it correctly on Twitter, so you could figure it out if you check my old tweets, but there's a painting that I spent over 2 weeks on, and I put a lot of effort into it, so I hope that you like it. And it will be dropping as an NFT soon, if you're into that kind of thing. If you're not, I'm not going to be the one to evangelize NFTs. For me, as an artist, it's obvious to be able to keep track of your digital property when people just steal anything. Yeah, you can just screenshot it, but that's not proving that you own it or that you made it. So it's nice to be able to kind of have a digital signature on my work, where as people share it, or if people buy and sell it, then you can make royalties as an artist. So musicians and artists can take advantage of this technology in the future. And I'm not going to go on a rant about NFTs. Supposedly people are against it because they're saying it's bad for the environment, but I'm not going to get into that. Someone was harassing me on one of my videos, saying, "Oh, you're a vegan, but you're promoting crypto or something." Trying to like catch me being a hypocrite or whatever. I never claimed to be perfect, first of all, and I warned about crypto being risky and X, Y, and Z, so I don't feel guilty about this at all. I think I give adult level warnings to anyone that can think clearly. And if you're just going to look for something to get mad about, there's plenty. There's plenty. And I feel bad for people that are cringing at the world instead of living life. Anyway, on that note, have an amazing day on purpose, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.